Hi, I'm Mary Richardson. Welcome to my channel. This channel is all about your abundance. Channeled message from Spirit, and we're on day 25 of the Abundance Challenge. Thank you for dropping by. I am a psychic medium. I created this channel because that's what Spirit told me to do. So this is all about, hang on, I have something on my lip. I don't know, something goofy on my lip. All right, so this challenge is all about your abundance, and I'm so grateful and thankful that you dropped by. If you're here for the first time, please click like and subscribe. If you're checking this out again, please click like and subscribe. There's a benefit to clicking the bell button. You'll be notified every time I upload a new video on your abundance. Also, I am doing tarot readings. So I can draw a card for the group on our abundance, whatever is in our highest and greatest good for today. That's what I ask for from Spirit, is to lead me to a card that's in our highest and greatest good for abundance. I'll get to that in a minute, though. But for right now, everything is in the description box below. My website, you can book a reading with me, and my dream life, the Abundance Challenge, by the way, we're on day 25. What it means is taking a moment, 1 minute every day, to close our eyes, to imagine our dream life, focus on the activities in your dream life, and how those activities make you feel. It's good to have something to write on, so you can write the day and how it makes you feel, how the activity in your dream life makes you feel. So I haven't been terribly good at doing that. I'm a human just like you are, but as I've been doing the abundance messages, I'll just write down, for instance, day 16, and I'll write down what activity came to my mind and how that activity made me feel. So if you kind of dropped off the Abundance Challenge, it's okay. Just pick up where you left off. If you're here for the first time and you want to start doing it, just do it. Close your eyes, usually best in the morning, and not while driving, of course, or doing anything dangerous, but to focus on whatever that dream life means to you at that moment, what activities you would be doing, and how those activities make you feel. This is an exercise that was given to me by Spirit. How I thought it would unfold is totally different now that it's happening, which is kind of, I think, yeah. So I'm channeling back and forth to Spirit, and I said, is that why you did this? So that I could learn these lessons? And they're like, yeah. So what I'm learning is that my expectation is almost always different when Spirit gives me an exercise to do, or some image or situation in my mind's eye. My expectation is always different than what the outcome is. Okay, so Spirit is giving me the download of a download, by the way, is what I refer to, or you can say it like a packet of information. Download, if you're a computer person and that resonates for you, download is like a chunk of information all at once, or a packet of information all at once. So I often get that, and that's what Spirit kind of just gave me, is that would I rather have my expectation met or get the results from that Spirit chooses to give me? And Spirit, I would always choose their outcome rather than what I expect, because their outcome is almost always better than anything I could have expected. And why not? They have the knowledge of the universe, right? And we all come from source. Even spirit comes from source. So, sometimes, well, okay, here, I'll give you an example. And in these videos, I always try to give you examples of what's going on in my life, because it can resonate in many different ways for everybody. So something I sometimes am challenged with is doing what spirit wants me to do versus what I think I know I need to do. And that's usually led from like the ego, right? Like the ego's like, oh, Mary, you've got to do this, 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 and this, and then you got to do that, and then you got to go here, and then you got to go there, and then you've got to essentially like recreate the world. Oh, and can you have that done by lunch, right? So that's kind of how my mind works. Like these expectations of myself are just off the chart. Like how can I ever do all that? And how can I do that in my own strength? I wouldn't even know where to begin, right? To get some of the things done that my ego wants me to do. So the opposite would be listening to spirit and leading a guided life. And leading a guided life is so much more satisfying and so much more successful and so much more profitable, so much more attainable than listening to my ego. So when I made every decision with my ego, I had like zero success in many different areas. I had zero satisfaction. I just every area I was struggling in because, and I'm a pretty well-educated person, not that that's a thing to success, but I thought that would bring me success. And no, leading a guided life has completely wrapped my world in a better way, in a better, it's changed my world, maybe not wrapped my world, but it's changed my world for the better. What a guided life means is that I rely on spirit to let me know what I need to do, what I need to say, because I have developed a trust with spirit that spirit will never tell me anything that's other than kind and loving. So I can always trust that where spirit is guiding me is going to be to a kind, loving, continued road that I'm on. It'll be a continuation of the road I'm on. When, like coming from the ego standpoint, the ego is going to say, here's an example, and I hope this helps somebody. Here's an example. When I made all my decisions from my ego, for instance, you walk into a car dealership, right? And you want to buy a car. The ego says, oh, I would look amazing in this car. I need this car because, it's going to make me look this way. I'm going to be this way. I'm going to feel this way. I'm going to it's not just transportation at that point. It's how will it make me look to everybody else, right? So that's the ego talking. And the ego is like, you can make that payment. Oh, you can spend that money. You can, you'll make it work. You'll do it, right? And here's what happens when you go down that road, or whether it's a house or anything you want to buy, right? When the ego makes the choice, it leads you down a road that can be really, really painful. At least that's for me. That's what's happened for me. Maybe not for you, but for me, when I've gone down that road, then when it comes time to make that car payment, it's like a moment of truth. Like, why did I do that? Oh my gosh, this means now that I have to forego something else, or I have to, make other choices, or I have to, it makes it difficult maybe to make the payment. And where is the ego at that point? The ego is gone. The ego is nowhere to be heard. Ego is not supportive. The ego is not saying, hey, you can do this, like it said at the beginning when I was looking for the car, right? The ego is like crickets. crickets. So it's just me and my wallet, right? Going, oh, okay, now I have to make payments, right? Or if I would admit the opposite, let's go through that same situation at the car dealership looking at a car. And when you're leading a guided life and you feel that and it's a matter of listening to your gut, for lack of a better word, okay? I channel spirit, so I'm actually in a constant communication with them. I hear them, feel them, see them, and them I'm referring to as spirit. Spirit are my guides, the archangels, my people that have passed on, my brother that's passed on. They make up what I call my champions. I'm part of the championship team. They're part of my team, and I refer to them as spirit, right? But we all have guides. So whatever you choose to call your guides or refer to your guides as, doesn't matter. Just call them guides. It's fine. The archangels. So let's reverse that situation. So I'm at a car dealership looking for a car and I'm leading a guided life. It means that I'm listening to spirit. I'm listening and feeling, and I know how they make me feel when it's a good decision versus when it's not a good decision. So if I were to be looking at a high-end car that would really stretch my budget, I would physically, this is me, but I would physically feel like I'd been punched in the stomach. That's how I would feel. That's how spirit, one of the ways that spirit lets me know not a good decision. That's one of the ways. I've spent a lot of time and work and effort on understanding my gift and all the aspects of it, but that's how it makes me feel. So if I were looking at a high-end car that was not in my best and highest good, I would feel like a gut punch. And literally I'd walk away going like, no thanks, don't want that high-end car. Not that high-end cars are bad at all. Of course I would like a high-end car. But my point is that at that point in time, it wasn't in my highest and greatest good. And then I would look at other cars and constantly be in communication with spirit and make a guided decision. And that way, when that first comes time to make a first car payment or pay it off or whatever, for me, a car payment, when I go to make out that car payment, there's no surprise, and I still feel spirit, and spirit's there 100% supporting me. So same is true for you. Spirit is there 100% of the time for you. They are listening, waiting for you to ask them for help. And they're waiting for you to look for the signs that they're sending you. They're waiting for you to notice them. They're waiting for you to hear them or feel them, whatever is specific to you. And everybody, it could be a little bit different. You might see or feel spirit or hear them in your mind's eye. You might just have a feeling of not being alone in a room. Like in this room, I'm alone with my dogs, right? But I feel spirit. It feels different. It feels, for me, it has a feeling of fullness, right? So I know I'm not alone. When I am not as connected to spirit, when I am maybe in a negative mood or something's happened, or I'm like, I have too much to do and I'm just too hurried and I've sort of dropped my vibration down because I've put too much on my own plate, it doesn't feel as full. It's not that they're not there, it's that I'm not as connected at that time because I'm stressed. So stress and anxiety can take away not take away, but they can put more, think of a super highway where there's no cars on the highway. Boom, you're connected. But when I'm stressed, it's like there's traffic jams, right? And there's all this traffic I have to go through. And so I'm not as connected. But when I'm calm and relaxed and not working in my own strength, but leading a guided life, it's like a super highway with no cars. Yeah. So you can have that too. So however this resonates for you, depending on your experience, but we all know what it feels like when they say, what's your gut feeling or what's your mother's instinct? Everybody, a mother's instinct, you can't deny it. You can't deny, or a father's instinct. When when your kids are up to no good. You just know, right? It's the same kind of thing. You walk into a car dealership, when if it's a right choice or a wrong choice. So that's kind of what I'm trying to explain a guided life is. And I encourage everybody, lead a guided life, because it will be so much sweeter. You will have so much more support. You will feel supported in ways that you can't explain. So if you've ever made a bad decision, which we all have, and you know how yucky that feels, because then there's always consequences. Like, let's say you're going to college and you're in the wrong class, and it's not a class you're even interested in, and you just thought that you'd take it because you thought that, I don't know, maybe somebody else was taking it, or for whatever reason, it's not the class or the curriculum that you would want to be in. Maybe you're an artist and you're in a math class. How does that feel, right? So you know that that's not really like a guided choice. But notice when you are, like, say you're an artist and you're in an art class, notice how great you feel, how on fire you feel, how much energy you have, how you're not tired even though you spent hours and hours doing art, and you're not at all tired. In fact, it's the opposite. You have more energy than you know what to do with, right? So that is what a guided life feels like. So I've said enough about that. I want to move on. But for some reason, I was guided to say that today. So somebody needed to hear that. And I hope that helps somebody. As you can imagine, of course, I'm a psychic medium. All my information is in the description box below. If you would like 45 minutes of me channeling for you, I would be honored to do that. I do readings. I'm having a July special, 45 minutes for $50. So it's a good deal. So check that out. If you're watching this video and it's not July, it's okay. Just go to the website, click on the box that says book a session or book a reading, click on it and just say, hey, I saw your special about a July special. Can I still have it? I'm pretty sure I'll honor that. All right. So yeah. So I do want, if you're led there from the video, absolutely, I would honor that. Let's move on. Today, channeled message from Spirit and day 25 of the Abundance Challenge. So I kind of mentioned it at the beginning of the video, 1 minute every day for 30 days, closing our eyes and focusing on our dream life and what activities we'd be doing and how they make us feel. Every day that you do that for 30 days, you may find that you are doing, whether it's the same activity or different activities, you may find that the feelings are changing every time you do it. So make a list. For instance, I have here day 16, and I have an activity and how it made me feel. So just do that. It could be on a scrap piece of paper, but something that's bound so that you can go back and look at it. You can go back and look at day 1 versus day 30. And I think you're going to look through all of the feelings, all of those feelings, how I think this is going to play out. This is a guided exercise from Spirit. So I don't really know the outcome, but what I think at day 25 has happened is now I have feelings written down related to my dream life. So I'm thinking that as I hone in on my dream life even further, and of course, a dream life today may be different than my dream life tomorrow, but the feeling that makes up my dream life, I'm thinking the feelings are always going to be the same. Kindness, I'm going to feel like I'm moving forward, accepting of abundance. I'm thankful, I'm grateful, I'm peaceful, I'm happy. Those are some of the feelings I've written down so far. So if you're just jumping into the Abundance Challenge, awesome, start today. If you've fallen off track, it's all right. get back on the horse. Just pick up where you left off and just keep going, right? It's just like life. Just keep going. All right. Spirit is like, enough said, pick a card. All right, so I'm going to pick a tarot card. And as I'm shuffling, I'm just asking Spirit to bring a card forward that is abundance for everybody seeing this, watching this, that is in our highest and greatest good. I'm asking for an abundance message that is in our highest and greatest good for everybody that's watching. And for me. Okay, so Spirit said stop, and they're saying that's your card right here. All right, so this card says hope. Hope. And what's really cool is a person is holding out their hands like they've been given a gift, and then there's this sunlight or brightness in the palm of their hands. Okay, so Spirit is saying that is the abundance that is in you. You already have it. You're just now focusing on it. And they're saying, see all the tentacles, the spears, the spires. Those are aspects of abundance. Each one means something different, and at the core is source. There can be no abundance without source. So source can, however you refer to your higher power, source, God, Buddha, however you refer to source, that is at the center. And Spirit is saying joy, peace, kindness. They are in the middle. And they're saying everything else radiates out from you. And they're saying you are part of source. So everything radiates out from you, from us. They're saying be kind and loving to each other. And that generates the brightness. Peace generates the brightness. Love generates the brightness. Belief in your power, source, energy, generates the brightness. The brightness is what gives, but it comes from being in the power. It comes from experiencing the power within. And they're saying root chakra. So if you're in the chakras, they're saying root chakra. They're saying grounding yourself in the power of source energy. They're saying in transmission, that is all. Grounding yourself in the power of source energy. And that will lead you to unlimited abundance. They're saying you cannot have one without the other. So you cannot have abundance without grounding yourself in the power of source energy. They're saying how to ground yourself. Okay, so they're saying how to ground yourself in the power of source energy. So they're holding out their hand like pointing to me to tell you how I ground myself. So grounding means a way of being connected. And for me, grounding is I would hear that term a lot when I hadn't developed my skills or my gift. And it didn't make any sense to me until one day I heard it explained that think of grounding as strengthening the communication with spirit and also taking out the negative out of you and bringing in the good. So I imagine that out of the soles of my feet, are two bands that go to the center of the earth, and they wrap around like a ginormous, the biggest tree log ever in existence. So those bands wrap around that tree log, and one band comes up through my legs and takes out of me anything that's negative, anything that's been frustrating, anything that's been in a lower vibration, disappointment or false expectations, or anything that's negative, like that I would consider being negative, and it's taking it out of me and going out the other foot, going down that band back into around that log at the center of the earth. And then the other, I guess, going out. Yeah. So visualize it however you can visualize it. The other band brings in goodness from Mother Earth, from the center of the earth. It fills me with joy, peace, love, enlightenment, and fills in all the space that the negativity left. And it fills in and goes back down to Mother Earth and rejuvenates. So I'm constantly having like negative, positive, until there's no more negative in me, and the positive just keeps circulating all the time. So it's good to ground yourself as often as possible. So however you can visualize that, change it to make sense to you. But a good grounding exercise is really important. It's a way of getting rid of the negative, bringing in the positive, and by doing so, it keeps my connection to spirit top notch. Also, I ask that from the highest dimension, that the archangels bring me grace from the highest dimensions. And I ask that for you as well, that the archangels will bring us grace from the highest dimensions. What's really cool is that if you can imagine, you've let go of all this negativity, and wherever that held space in you, it's good to fill that in with positive things and let Mother Earth do that for you, right? And so this grounding exercise, it takes me longer to explain it than it does to do it. So do it often, or some version of it, so that you can remove the negativity and bring in positivity. And it's almost like that breath. How do you explain how that feels? It just feels clear. It feels good. It feels clean. It feels crisp. It feels like gratitude, thankfulness, a warm hug from Mother Earth. And one of the reasons why I always, we can always there's no perfect day, right? There's no perfect day where I remember to ground myself as often as I need it, or where, there's all these rituals, and I don't want to get tied up in the rituals, because let's get to work. Let's live our passion. Let's live our dream life. And so if you're watching videos on being a psychic or a medium or spirituality, I know what that feels like, to just have a thirst for it. And it's just, you can't quench your thirst. Like you just want more and more and more. I know what that's like. And so when you're watching videos, there's lots of people that will give you information about chakras, and it's all, I'm not saying it's all good. I haven't watched all the videos, but I'm saying there's a lot of information out there. But at the end of the day, the core reason we're doing this, right? The reason we're all here is to help each other. So the videos I watched helped me, and now I'm making videos to help you, right? I just believe it's really simple. We're all here to help each other. So what is your passion? How can we help? How can I help you live your passion, right? I want to use my gifts so that I can help people heal, so that I can help people make their tomorrow a little better than what was today, right? In whatever way. Maybe it's hearing from a loved one that's passed on. Maybe it's knowing you're not alone. Maybe it's knowing that you have infinite support 24/7 from Spirit. Maybe it's helping you develop your own gifts. Maybe it's helping you lead a guided life. Maybe it's giving, having you come for a reading so that you can have your questions answered. Because I'm trying to bring you as much information in these videos as I can. But your questions are your questions. They're going to be different from somebody else's. And that's why a reading can really be super helpful. So if you are interested, in the description box is my website. Go to the website, click on book a reading, and I'm running a special right now. So be sure and type that in. You heard about the special on the video. It's 45 minutes for $50, which is a good deal. And I want to make it affordable so everybody can take advantage of it. So this is the July special. If you're watching this and it's not July, well, still go to the website, click on book a reading, and let me know you saw the video and the July special. And I'll honor it. I will honor it. All right, also, if you're watching this video and you have you've seen it before, but you've been drawn back to the video, you were drawn back for a reason. Often how Spirit speaks to us is they will give us a different message when we watch the same video. So I don't know why it works. I don't know how it works. I'm just saying sometimes that is how it works. And you've been drawn back for a reason, to hear some aspect that you needed to hear. So be sure and click like and subscribe and the bell button so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. And pass this on to your friends so they can experience abundance as well, get an abundance message for themselves. Also, I am picking a card, a tarot card, and there was something that Spirit said and I just missed it. It'll come back to me. I missed it. All right. Too much going through my head. All right. So I channel Spirit. Okay. And Spirit said just pick a card. All right. So I asked that whatever card comes forward would be for our highest and greatest good for everybody watching this and myself, and that it be related to abundance in our lives. Okay, and they're saying stop, and they're saying the red one, this one. All right. Oh, all right. So this one says financial and material changes. I'm going to hold it up for a long time. All right. So financial and material changes. It's card number 5. What's interesting, what I've noticed about this card is the change. We have a basic band here on her finger, and then we have a more elaborate band with a stone in it on this finger. And what I'm seeing is, here's a line. Can you see this line right here? This line is like a line of change. And you can see that on this side, her finger is redder and the band is more elaborate. Then on this side of the line, we have the finger is not as red and the band is it doesn't have a stone in it. It's not gold. And it's a band, your basic band. And here you can also see, it looks like her sleeve is darker here, like a richer color. And the red is like passion or prosperity, abundance. And I'm just listening to Spirit now. Oh, okay. So they're saying the line is a delineation of change. So it's like a division that separates no change and the line is change. And then you have a different version of the hand. So different version of the hand. So the line change can make us a better version of ourselves. Welcome change. Welcome new change in aspects of your life that you've never thought of before. Welcome new change. They're saying that is all in transmission. So they're saying, Spirit is saying, welcome, welcome new change. So to what I'm feeling with that is change that you haven't been aware of before. So sometimes Spirit will, or sometimes there's change that we know we should do that we keep ignoring for whatever reason. But this is different. Spirit is saying, welcome the new change. So something that you haven't heard before or been prompted to do before, welcome that. And they're saying, if it is in your highest and greatest good. So it's not saying to go crazy and go do something, out of character. They're saying just be open to it. In other words, investigate it, do research, be open to new change. And they're saying, again, that is in your highest and greatest good. So what I always ask is that in leading a guided life, my goal is always to be guided to changes or answers that are always in my highest and greatest good. And I ask that for you as well. And I would ask, though, you should start, as you ask Spirit for information or you're coming to me, I always ask that the information I bring forward is for your highest and greatest good. So Spirit is all about love and kindness. So that means that they're not going to say to do something that's going to hurt you or anybody else, or they only bring forth love and kindness. And they're like yelling that at me, love and kindness. So just be open to change, new change. That is in your highest and greatest good. And if you want more information on how you can lead a guided life or answers to your questions about loved ones that have passed on, I am a medium, a psychic medium, and I can channel your loved ones. And I don't have control over who comes forward, as far as that you might want to talk to your mom that has passed on, or your dad, or brother, or someone, and someone related to you, someone else may come forward, but that would be because that was what you most needed to hear at that moment. So that's how it works. I don't have control over the spirit world or who comes forward. I'm the channel, the translator, the clear connection. So book a reading. I'm here to help, here to heal using my gift. And I welcome you to this channel. Be sure and click like and subscribe, and don't forget to click on the bell button, because then you'll be notified every time I upload a new video, as well as I occasionally will do live readings. And I will, as if you're in the chat room, I can pull a card for you that's specific to you. All right. Well, have a kind and loving day. Do good things, positive things, only positive things, safe things. And I hope that you are all prospering in the way that you want to prosper. So Spirit is telling me thoughts are things. Thoughts are things. So remember that. Think about what you want, not what you don't want. Goodbye for today. I hope you have a great day. Don't forget to book a reading and like and subscribe and the bell button. Goodbye for today.